kind that fell yesterday in the season opener in Miami. Despite having a retractable stadium roof, showers caused a delay in the game between the Marlins and the Braves. The game started as usual, but then the rain started to come down during the second inning. Officials had to stop the game. It takes about 16 minutes to close the roof, and the infield got soaked in the process. And the Weather Channel's Twitter account got all sassy pants with the Marlins about this, saying that we could lend them some meteorologists. They might have a point. All right, let's talk about the flood threat here. The possibility of some very heavy rainfall in addition to the severe weather. We already had some rain. Louisville's just gotten smacked day after day with really heavy rain. That's becoming now a bigger issue in the long term. We have flash flood warnings here to the northwest side of the city because the ground is already saturated. It's not going to take much more. 6-hour rainfall, 2.5 inches of radar estimated accumulation here. That's a lot of rain in a short period of time, much less to the east of the city. So relatively localized to the west-northwest side of it. Look at the past 7 days. Lexington, obviously, one of the spots that we've been watching. Louisville also in there. So these two areas, 5 to 8 inches of rain. They had some flooding late last week into the weekend. So it's not going to take much more rain to trigger some additional flooding. So we'll watch them as there's a lot of moisture in here and a disturbance along this front. This is part of that backdoor cold front that we talked about that's going to move in and ruin the northeast here for a couple of days. It's also going to bring some stalled out, prolonged periods of rain into the Ohio Valley. So we're thinking another couple of inches of rain with the bullseye just south of Louisville. Julie?
Well, not just rain that is a risk for the severe weather this week. We are tracking the threats and the timings for the cities most at risk. And speaking of risk, lightning, another big threat on the way. 5 ways you can avoid becoming a victim.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy early with increasing clouds overnight. Low 72. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Introducing new Country Time Lemonade Starter with real lemon juice. A fresh new way to make Country Time.
Most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste as much energy as leaving a window open in your home all year long. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. When you buy 2 rooms of windows, you'll get the 3rd room free. Call today because every home needs a champion.
Americans, 83% try to eat healthy, yet up to 90% fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more. Add One-A-Day Women's Gummies, complete with key nutrients we may need, plus it supports bone health with calcium and vitamin D. One-A-Day VitaCraves Gummies.
Across America, people are taking charge of their type 2 diabetes with non-insulin Victoza.
For a while, I took a pill to lower my blood sugar, but it didn't get me to my goal. So I asked my doctor about Victoza. He said Victoza works differently than pills and comes in a pen. Victoza is proven to lower blood sugar and A1C. It's taken once a day, anytime, and the needle's thin. Victoza is not for weight loss, but it may help you lose some weight.
Victoza is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise. It is not recommended as the first medication to treat diabetes and should not be used in people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Victoza has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Victoza is not insulin. Do not take Victoza if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Victoza or any of its ingredients. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction may include swelling of face, lips, tongue, or throat, fainting or dizziness, very rapid heartbeat, problems breathing or swallowing, severe rash or itching. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Serious side effects may happen in people who take Victoza, including inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis, which may be fatal. Stop taking Victoza and call your doctor right away if you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe pain that will not go away in your abdomen or from your abdomen to your back, with or without vomiting. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions. Taking Victoza with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. The most common side effects are nausea, diarrhea, and headache. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
If your pill isn't giving you the control you need, ask your doctor about non-insulin Victoza. It's covered by most health plans.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust, with stain and sealer in one, and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
Johnny, even after careers like ours, we're still going strong.
What's your secret, Richard?
Blue Emu.
Oh, I've used Blue Emu for over 10 years. I love their odor-free Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray.
Me too. It's got an active ingredient to relieve my muscle aches and joint pains.
And soothing emu oil for those hard-to-reach places.
I knew you was a winner.
I'm glad we had this talk.
Blue Emu, it works fast.
And you won't stink.
If you're running a business, LegalZoom has your back. Over the last 10 years, we've helped 1 million business owners get started. Visit LegalZoom today for the legal help you need to start and run your business. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. We have 40 million people that are going to be watching for severe weather through the rest of the week, from Oklahoma City into Chicago and Charlotte as well. Chicago, one of the spots we're really interested in. It's so early in the season for them. Some spots, though, with the torque on a 5, meaning a 50% chance of a tornado in your area. Obviously, with that widespread risk, we need to pinpoint this and talk a little bit about timing. So let's talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Torque on there of 5 out of 10. That's the highest number we have over the next couple of days, is that 5. Again, that's a 50% chance of tornado. Timing-wise, what we're looking at in the Tulsa area is going to be Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday night. That's 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, notice we put greatest threat, because with these severe outbreaks, you can't say for sure that you won't have any severe weather on either side of that, earlier or later in the day. The chance of that tornado there, though, again, a 50% chance of a tornado, damaging wind gusts, and some large hail. Obviously, people focus on the tornado, and we understand that, but this big hail and straight line winds also could be a threat as we look into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and we'll watch them again on Thursday. Julie?
We've got hail to deal with, lightning also a big concern as the threat of severe storms really ramps up. We want to give you a timely reminder about lightning and the different ways it can strike. There are actually 5 different ways lightning can strike you. The first, a direct strike. Now, this is when the main discharge will actually travel over and right through your body, so very deadly situation often here with a direct lightning strike. We also have the side flash. This one is when the lightning actually hits a taller object near you and then bounces over to you, like a tree or a phone pole perhaps. This would be the current jumping onto your body. We also have ground lightning. Lightning can actually travel through the ground. It can travel outward once it strikes the ground and come up through the body that way. And then we also have conduction, and that is where lightning might hit a metal post or metal object. If you touch that object, lightning will come through your body. So that is certainly a dangerous situation as well. We also have the streamer. This one is a bit different, a bit harder to describe, but basically as that lightning is discharging from the sky, even without making that full connection with the cloud, it can break apart, and the streamers can then enter the body as well. So lightning is certainly a very dangerous and difficult situation to predict, and we want to make sure you're safe and stay indoors during those thunderstorms. Keith.
All right, thanks, Julie. Let's talk about the Northeast, shall we? Boston, looking over the Charles River right now, across to the Prudential, the Hancock Building. Man, what a winter they've had, and this is not the kind of spring that they need. People are going crazy up there. I talked to my grandmother the other day. She's 94, and she hates it. It's too much. It's just been, they need spring at this point. Unfortunately, we don't have good news for you over the next couple of days because we're going to get a backdoor cold front in here. Things are going to cool down. It happens in the spring. It's nice if you can at least get a taste of spring first. Down across the South Shore of Massachusetts, New Bedford, all the way in through parts of the Cape here, seeing some rain shower activity. It's not heavy rain, but it's cold rain. It's not pleasant. Temperatures are still cool. Down to the south, it's a little bit warmer. D.C. sitting at around 70 degrees, so they're not bad. 51 in New York, 39 though in Boston. I always argued that 37 in rain is like the worst weather you can have. So 39 in rain is not great, that's for sure. Burlington, Vermont, by the way, 41. So here's that backdoor cold front. High pressure draining some cold air in on northeast winds. Typically cold fronts have northwest winds behind them. These have northeast winds, which is usually over the water, which is usually not good. It cools things down and gives you some showers, in this case with the boundary down here. Not a juicy boundary necessarily, but there is some rain along it, and that'll be the case today. It'll be rain across southern parts of New England in through Pennsylvania and the mid-Atlantic as well. Tomorrow, the leading edge of this starts to be a little bit of snow. Latest computer models giving us a 2 to 4 inch accumulation of snow roughly right around here, northern parts of Massachusetts in through Maine and New Hampshire. Not ideal there. Boston staying wet with temperatures in the 30s, right around 40 degrees, and morning showers. They won't see snow likely in the Boston area. Some good news. I'm going to end on a good note. Weekend, Julie, looking good in the Northeast.
That's what we like to hear. All right. Ahead, more on the severe weather threat that could impact more than 40 million people over the next 2 days. Plus, millions are also dealing with this. Snow, as Keith mentioned, even though the calendar says April. Find out who could get several inches when you will return to spring coming back.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's honey of an old. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Got some work to do. If you need me, I'll be cleaning the gutters.
Today, the house won't know what hit it. Show the garage who's boss. Check.
Oh.
Put a new shine on the family wheels. Check. Tame the jungle you call a yard. Check.
Nice work, guys. You earned this back. Oh, who's Jeremy? And he texts a lot.
New mobile plan?
Thank you.
Done. With everything you need for spring at Walmart's low prices you can trust every day. What project will you take on?
Control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it.
That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's the last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy early with increasing clouds overnight, low 72. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I've got plans, and this is my baby right now. So it's just not the right time to get pregnant. That's why I chose Skyla. Skyla is the small, flexible IUD that prevents pregnancy for up to 3 years. So for me, there are no daily pills or monthly refills. I got my Skyla placed in just a few minutes at my OBGYN's office. And if I want to try to get pregnant, I can get it removed whenever I want.
If you have a pelvic infection, get infections easily, or have certain cancers, don't use Skyla. Less than 1% of users get a serious infection called PID. If you have persistent pelvic or stomach pain, or if Skyla comes out, tell your doctor. Skyla may attach or go through the uterus and cause other problems. Pregnancy while using Skyla is uncommon, but can be life-threatening and may result in loss of pregnancy or fertility. Ovarian cysts may occur, but usually disappear. Bleeding and spotting may increase in the first 3 to 6 months and remain irregular. Periods over time usually become shorter, lighter, or may stop. Skyla does not protect against HIV or STDs.
Talk to your OBGYN about making the move to Skyla.
Check with your insurance to find out if you can get Skyla at no cost.
So nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet Santa Mas nice. So nice, so nice. Send cry full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. Send John a real paradise. So nice, so proud to be from the Virgin Islands and the whole place nice.
To experience your Virgin Islands nice, book one of our...
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials helped me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
It's time to elevate your expectations of what luxury waterfront living can be. Water Club North Palm Beach. In the heart of everything you love about the Palm Beaches. Unmatched views in every direction. Unrivaled amenities. Private club living on the water's edge. Water Club North Palm Beach. Presented by Coulter. Visit our sales gallery just south of PGA Boulevard on US 1.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you? No, I wasn't.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is valid until 2 o'clock. That is Central Time. St. Louis just to the south and east of St. Louis particularly involved in the possibility of some severe weather. We're looking at hail with this. There's been no rotation in these thunderstorms, so we're not concerned about tornadoes. That, though, will be changing as we talk about our severe weather threat over the next couple of days. But the initial threat here today does not involve that kind of rotation. There's very low chance of it, at least. But the rainfall has been big. Look, this is St. Louis right here. Rainfall accumulation in the past 3 hours of 2.2 inches. Our radar showing very clearly where it is thumping rain here and rejoining with some moisture. So that's right within this flash flood warning box. The green box here is where we see that heavy rainfall. Interstate 55, one of the spots we'll be watching. And all of these echoes here are just absolutely pouring. Jefferson and one of the counties there, Farmington, Platten, the cities, and that's till 6:30 Central Time. So we do have that heavy rainfall. That's our main threat within that severe weather box here at the moment. And as it continues to look at some of the rainfall amounts here, again, 2-3 inches of rain, certainly going to be a possibility as that rain continues to move off to the north and east. Here's another look at that as it's kind of moving off to the east. We call this training when you see one line. And in addition to the rain, take a look at these lightning strikes all over each other. And each one of these yellow ones showing you when you see pretty real-time lightning strikes, 3,649 to be exact. lightning strikes in that box. So that's always a threat, even with non-severe. Remember, lightning is not a severe criteria, but it does cause a lot of deaths, unfortunately, through the year. So here's a look at it on the broad scale. We do have thunderstorms continuing to bubble up. We've got a little break in the action in through Kentucky, which actually will act to destabilize the atmosphere as we get some sunshine in there. So we're going to continue to watch that. Paducah, one of the spots we'll watch later today. They're right now in that little clear zone. Louisville also we're going to be watching, and St. Louis with the storms that came through this morning. They could be looking at another round this afternoon. The threats would be similar. It'd be heavy rain and hail as all that moisture comes in out of the Gulf of Mexico. Julie?
Well, we are well into April, but hey, check out what we're still dealing with. Snow here, and lots of it from southern Michigan all the way into northern California. So we have for you, yes, another winter weather update in April. Probably tired of winter by right about now, but we do have a little bit more to come for you in places like Bismarck, North Dakota. Take a look at the scene we're dealing with here. Definitely a winter one. We are right on the cusp here. We are at 34 degrees with some light snow being reported here in Bismarck. The visibility around 3 miles, so certainly some winter weather coming in your way. Here it is on live radar right now, right along I-94, traveling out towards Jamestown, Minot. You're getting some mixing as well. So in general, light snow here in the extreme northern plains, but still it is snow and it is April. We are getting some welcome snow in the Sierra though, and that is certainly some good news in terms of the California drought. So taking a look now, visible satellite, you do see that spin in the atmosphere. We're allowing that moisture to come in from the Pacific, and it is now pushed past the Bay Area over the Sierra. We're starting to see it still dump a little bit of snow here, and we'll continue to do so probably for the next day or so. Much needed snow, as I mentioned, as the snowpack is extremely low this year and the drought situation is extremely bad. In Sacramento, we have showers and thunderstorms, but as we travel up into Lake Tahoe, we are looking at snow right now with 35 degrees. So how much snow are we talking about? Well, we could see even up to a foot or so in the Sierra over the next couple of days. We'll continue to see it fall from Donner Pass down into Sequoia as we move through Tuesday night tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. But then it will begin to taper off as the week wanes on, and really we're going to be pretty much done with it at that point. So how much are we talking? As I mentioned, we could see anywhere from say half a foot to a foot of snow at the most, and every little bit will help in terms of the water supply and the California snowpack, but certainly not enough to bail you out of the drought by any means, Keith.
All right, unfortunately, it's going to take a while to do that. Thank you, Julie. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, we'll bring you new information on the threat for the dangerous severe weather affecting 40 million people, and we'll pinpoint the areas that could face heavy rain, large hail, and dangerous lightning, even the tornado possibility in the next 48 hours. It's all in our exclusive Torcon Index, and that's just 60 seconds away.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy early with increasing clouds overnight. Low 72. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, some thunderstorms roaming out there already, and the threat of tornadoes as severe weather ramps up through the week.
That's right. Who has a 50% chance of a tornado by tomorrow? And how many millions of us are at risk from dangerous severe weather?
Plus, rising concern where already flooding communities are struggling to mop up.
And who could see up to 5 inches of new rain by the end of the week? We track that wet and wild danger right here, right now on Weather Center Live. Hi there, and thanks so much for joining us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Julie Martin.
And I'm Keith Carson. Severe weather, that threat is increasing. We've got about 40 million people at least at risk for severe weather through the end of the week.
That's right. A thunderstorm watch already in place in the heartland. We have flash flood warnings issued as well in places like St. Louis.
Yeah, some stuff already going on there, and it started hurling some hail earlier today, mixed in with heavy rain in the greater St. Louis area. And speaking of heavy rain, storm spotters have reported more than 2 inches of rain today west of St. Louis and Warren, St. Charles and St. Louis counties. So it's been the hailers, it's been the flash flooding going on so far that we've been concerned about, and that threat will eventually evolve into more rotation, a better chance of some tornadoes. But let's talk about what's going on right now with Julie.
That's right. Heavy rain in the St. Louis area. In fact, we've seen hail reported this morning, as well as big as golf ball sized hail in the vicinity of St. Louis. Right now, taking you out, we are looking still at a flash flood warning existing for Jefferson, St. Francis, and St. Genevieve. This goes until 6:30 this evening. This is actually south of St. Louis here, where you see the green boxes. That would be the area, this flash flood warning. Obviously, we're looking at rounds of heavy rain here. We've got lightning mixed in, hail thrown into the mix as well. So certainly a very unpleasant afternoon here right along I-55 heading out toward Mount Vernon. Southern Illinois also in play here for some severe weather this afternoon. We'll likely get a bit of a break, and then things will ramp up again tonight and into tomorrow. Right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Wayne County. This is a new one. It goes until 1:45. So Big Mound, Fairfield, and Grover, heads up for you. We're looking at damaging winds and hail very likely in your area, and a tremendous amount of lightning, by the way, showing up on live radar as well. In terms of hail size in general, the biggest we have seen so far has been golf ball size, so just under an inch of hail or so. But look at this. This is just now coming in out of Fairfield, 1.3 inches. So we're getting a little bit bigger than golf ball size now. Certainly enough to cause some damage. You want to bring your cars inside if you can and protect your property. Take a look at the severe weather threat for today from Tulsa to Kansas City, St. Louis, Paducah, and Louisville, all in line for these strong storms, which will be ramping up as the night goes on, Keith.
All right, thanks, Julie. When we talk about Wednesday, we're thinking about places all the way from Fort Worth in through Kansas City, and then as we had a jump ahead to Friday, Washington, D.C., with the possibility of some severe storms in there. So that's the bookend of the week as the system moves eastward. Torcon in some spots as high as 5, which is a 50% chance of a tornado. Let's talk about the setup through Wednesday. Again, Wednesday and Thursday look like our biggest days event-wise. Originally, the computer models were locked into Thursday, and now it looks like Wednesday and Thursday are both equally dangerous as far as that severe weather goes. Take a look at temperatures right now. Midland, Texas, 87, Dallas, 77. It's warm. It's also moist. Very unstable because of that. Dew points are in the 60s. That's the kind of air mass that you'll notice is certainly humid. And behind it, on the west side of this, is some really dry air. Albuquerque coming in with 12, 2 for a dew point here across parts of the southwest. That's that dry line right here. And a lot of times that's where the severe storms start to at least fire off. It may not be the end-all be-all of where those storms are, but they start there for sure. And that's where we're looking at tomorrow's severe weather threat, right along that dry line and up to the north towards Kansas City into St. Louis. As far east, though, is Indianapolis. And as far as their torcons go, they're pretty high numbers. Eastern Kansas, north central Oklahoma, a 5, so a 50% chance of a tornado there, and a 4 for most of Missouri, west central parts of Illinois, and then eastern Oklahoma, north central Texas. And obviously, Julie, as we look forward in time, we're going to try to nail down the best we can the highest risk areas. That's the hardest part with severe weather.
I know, so those numbers could certainly raise even higher over the next day or so. Dr. Forbes is on top of it, and so is the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. They are looking at the next 48 hours very carefully there. Our own Mike Bettis is in Norman, and he talked with a team of meteorologists about the threat.
Here in Norman, Oklahoma at the National Weather Center, it's a collaborative effort of academia and research and operational meteorology. NOAA Storm Prediction Center, which is here, is the entity responsible for issuing tornado and severe thunderstorm watches, and they could be quite busy the next several days with severe weather really beginning to ramp up. Also housed here, the National Severe Storms Laboratory on the cutting edge of research, and they've developed a test bed, a new way of potentially issuing watches and warnings for the country. They call it a forecasting, a continuum of environmental threats, or facets for short, and the deputy director of NSSL gave us a rundown of how it works and what the goal for it is.
Well, we hope that we can take it down to a neighborhood level. Every half mile, updated every 2 minutes for different threats, because everybody has a different threshold at which they take action. And what we're trying of awareness when a storm is approaching, that if you need more time, like if you're an emergency manager, you're a hospital, and that you need more advance notice, you can get that advance notice and not wait for the binary yes/no warning to be issued. That information comes out well in advance of what the standard warning might be.
So imagine being able to get a warning for your specific neighborhood, not just your county, but your neighborhood in a timely fashion and continuously updated, potentially minute by minute. That kind of information invaluable, and even with great lead time, it'll be even better keeping everyone out of harm's way. That's the very latest here from Norman, Oklahoma, as we keep an eye on the weather this week. I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis.
All right, that would be very cool, by the way. Thank you, Mike. It is not just severe weather, though, that has us worried. It is the heavy rain, too. So we want to show you what we're talking about, because a lot of these areas are getting rounds and rounds of rain. We're just hit late last week as well. Louisville, you are one of them. Last Friday, you got hit with over 5 inches of rain, and we're looking at the same by the time this next system rolls through over the next several days. So we're looking again at the possibility of flooding here in this area. We've got a front that is stalling out over your area, and it's just going to continue that wet pattern over the next several days, at least through Friday by the end of the week. So here's a look at how much more rain we can expect then. Near St. Louis, central Illinois, we're looking at 3 to 5 inches. In general, I'd say 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 3 inches across the green areas you see here on the map. But Pittsburgh could even get maybe 3 to 5 inches. So we'll be on the lookout for any flash flooding advisories. Over to you, Keith.
All right, thanks, Julie. And with storms like these, you need to pinpoint the threats. We'll do that for you coming up. Plus, a pattern change in the Northeast. You're not going to like it. It's going to be rainy and chilly.
What does high-strength, roll-formed steel look like? Like this. Chevy Silverado. High-strength steel for high-strength dependability. Current Chevy owners can get this Silverado 1500 for a total value of $8,000. Plus 1 year of Sirius XM with every MLB game. See your local Chevy dealer today.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better. Want to see? Yeah. Cool. What else you got?
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. New Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
We just adopted 2 new puppies from PetSmart.
I'm going to call the yellow one Expressway.
We already came up with names for the puppies, Mom.
I'm going to call the other one Snake Finder.
Pethood's better with a partner. That's why PetSmart has all you need to take care of your kids.
We are still in the eye, and we're still trying to get into the same place.
She is in labor right now. We know more about this system hour by hour.
This is our Pineapple Express pumping in that rainfall.
We are talking about a doozy of a storm.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy early with increasing clouds overnight, low 72. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit. And we took it to the the edge, didn't give up.
Hands were made for talking. Feet, tiptoeing. Better things than the pain, stiffness, and joint damage of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist decide on a biologic, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a small pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can relieve RA symptoms and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers have happened in patients taking Xeljanz. Don't start Xeljanz if you have any infection, unless okay with your doctor. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz, and routinely check certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you have been to a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. One pill, twice daily. Xeljanz can reduce RA pain and help stop further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Ask about Xeljanz.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Taking a live look now at Chicago's Michigan Avenue, my favorite city in the U.S. My old stomping grounds there. Not so pretty right now weather-wise, though. We are looking at some fog and drizzle out there. And Chicago, you are one of the cities we're going to be watching very carefully over the next several days in terms of severe weather, even tornadoes. We want to talk Torcon now and talk about some of the timing for Wednesday into Thursday. So we're taking a look now at Oklahoma City. For you, it's looking like a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles Wednesday between 4 and 8 o'clock. That is your crunch time. That is the zone we're looking at for you in terms of tornadic activity. Kansas City up to a 5 for you, about a 50% chance, and we're looking at Wednesday at 2 to Thursday at 4 a.m. For Chicago, the Windy City, taking a look at a Torcon of 4 between Thursday at noon all the way until 10 o'clock. So pretty much at any time throughout the day on Thursday, Chicago could see some severe weather, which is quite unusual this early in the season, Keith, to see a tornado threat in Chicago.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you that Chicago's an awesome city. I'm not from there, but it's pretty awesome. Let's talk about your severe weather threat as we head into Thursday now, because the computer models were really juiced on this idea a couple of days ago about Thursday being a severe weather day. There is warm, moist flow in here, the same thing we have on Wednesday. The difference between Wednesday and Thursday is that we have a little bit more mid and upper level support, more catalyst, if you will. We're relying more on the instability on Wednesday and a little bit more on what we call the forcing on Thursday, with this little short wave coming into the plain. So a better trigger for those thunderstorms. Some of the thunderstorm complexes may indeed make it overnight Wednesday night in through Thursday morning. So we may not even have to initiate some of this convection. It may already be in place from the night before. Chicago, St. Louis, Little Rock, Memphis, Shreveport, Dallas. Big areas spatially where the severe weather is a possibility. Now within that, we have areas that are more likely for tornadoes, and they actually look to be across the northern part of the area. Illinois, Indiana coming with that Torcon of 5, and then southern parts of Wisconsin in through Michigan coming in with the 4 there, and then lower down towards Arkansas in through southern Missouri, northeastern parts of Texas. So no threat, but not as much as it is to the north. St. Louis, thunderstorms a possibility through the day with the severe weather ramping up through the afternoon. Julie?
Well, another story we're watching in the Northeast, the temperatures. Here's a live look at Philly. You know, you hit 75 degrees on Monday. The last time you were there was way back in the fall, but get ready to chill out again. Temperatures are expected to tumble nearly 30 degrees. A big temperature flip-flop in the Northeast as we have a backdoor cold front that is going to be ushering in all of this nice, chilly, wet air over the next couple of days. Not exactly what you want to hear, right? But that's what we're going to be dealt here. Sun and clouds are yesterday in Philadelphia and 75, as I mentioned. Tomorrow, though, we're going for 47 for your high with some showers, so cold rain there for you as well. Here we have a look at live radar right now. A lot of this offshore right now, but we're starting to see some out on Long Island. Also, as we move in through Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, the D.C. area, the Delmarva Peninsula getting a little bit wet right now. In general, just some showers. Here's our backdoor cold front, though. We have these cool winds coming in out of the northeast instead of the usual northwest. High pressure ushering those in, and that's going to be producing some of that really chilly air that we're going to be talking about. We also have this stalled front here, so keeping things rather unsettled over the next several days. So here's a look at today. We've got those showers from Boston out through Pittsburgh and D.C., and then tomorrow more of the same. We could even see a little bit of light snow working its way into places like Vermont and New Hampshire. Not much in terms of accumulation. Nonetheless, take a look at this. Even down East Maine getting a little snow as we head into Thursday of this week. For the rest of us, though, it will be rain and chilly air that we will be dealing with. Philadelphia, here's your official forecast from 70 to 47 to 50 and rain throughout the week.
Nasty. Thank you, Julie. Now that we've pinned down how long you face wet and chilly conditions in the Northeast, we're turning back to the timing of storm threat to come ahead when you could be at risk for this week's most severe storms, and that's not all.
The drought is affecting rates of fire spread, fuel moistures. It's just incredible, and it's just not getting any better.
Where this fire season could hit historic proportions.
Dad, like, how many more weeks are you going to be using my car?
Until my insurance claim goes through. This is our car.
Mr. Parker, my parents have
Allstate.
They have this
Claim satisfaction guarantee.
Really?
their claim experience is
Fast, fair, and hassle-free.
or they get their like money back.
Sarah! Come to prom with me!
No.
Hey, Mr. Parker.
Claim satisfaction guarantee. Just another way Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Discover Can-Am's wide range of industry-leading vehicles during the Ready to Ride sales event. For a limited time, the Outlander L starts at $59.99. Or get the versatile Commander, the powerful Outlander, and the turbocharged Maverick XDS with cash rebates up to $2,000. Don't miss out. Visit your local dealer during the Ready to Ride sales event. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Run away with me. This award season, the red carpet has shades of green. The spotlight shines all day. Lost soul to reverie. And the Jeep Grand Cherokee lets you go where others can't. Running wild and running free. Two kids, you and me. Now say, hey, hey. So you end up with the best seats in the house. The 2015 Jeep Award Season event.
My husband said, "You're beautiful and I love you, but I'm worried about your health and your weight. I'm worried we're going to lose you." That was my moment.
When your moment comes, you can count, track, and worry over every meal. Or you can lose weight simply with Jenny Craig. Just walk in or call. Meet your own personal consultant who will help turn your moment into the best summer ever. Pick from our all-new spring menu and start losing now. Don't wait. Join free plus $50 in food savings.
A moment can change your whole life with Jenny Craig.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the web.
When it comes to Medicare, everyone talks about what happens when you turn 65. But really, it's what you do before that counts. See, Medicare doesn't cover everything, only about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is on you.
Consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, it could really save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. So call now and request this free decision guide. Discover how an AARP Medicare Supplement plan could go long for you.
You want to choose your doctors. Avoid networks. What about referrals?
All plans like these let you visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, with no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So call now, request your free guide, and explore the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans.
65 may get all the attention, but now is a good time to start thinking about how you want things to be.
Go long.
20.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you? No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. The This afternoon, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy early with increasing clouds overnight. Low 72. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Taking a look at Kansas City right now, where they have the chance of some storms in there. Tomorrow going to be their biggest day, and they're going to continue to be at least involved in severe weather as we head into Thursday. They have some thunderstorms, a possibility today as well. We talked about how today we're not thinking as much about tornadoes, but some hail and some heavy rain a possibility. So Kansas City, through the afternoon, through the night, chance of those thunderstorms. Again, not every one of these hours will be thunderstorms, but there'll be some of them around, a chance of them. And in through tomorrow, Wichita Falls, Texas, seeing a chance of not only those breezy conditions in the early part of the afternoon, those lead their way into the thunderstorms later in the day, and then by night, at least in that area, it should die down. But it is worth noting that the thunderstorms that develop tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, could last overnight and then into Thursday morning, then refiring some of those. A lot of classic severe weather days actually start that way, with a line that was partially falling apart from the night before, re-triggering. This is our threat zone tomorrow, and again moving slightly eastward as we head into Thursday. Julie?
All right, thank you so much, Keith. You know, some rain has moved on to the west coast as well, which is welcome news. Taking a live look now at San Francisco, the rain is pretty much cleared out of the Bay Area. It's now pushed off to our east, 53 degrees right now. Pretty picture out there. But as NBC's Miguel Almaguer shows us what rain they have gotten, well, the west is still going to have to brace for an historic wildfire season, very likely.
Firefighters called it the year of the firestorm. 2014, millions of acres were destroyed as hundreds of homes across the West went up in flames.
Go for it. Dropping. Come down 100 feet.
This year, the outlook is even more dire. The forecast calling for bigger, more explosive fires fueled by conditions not seen in decades.
The drought is affecting rates of fire spread, fuel moistures. It's just incredible, and it's just not getting any better. The forecast calls
Assistant Chief Brian Fennessy worked this San Diego hillside when it became a blowtorch last year. We were there as fire devoured these drought-stricken hills.
This is the front lines.
This year, the front lines will be everywhere. Firefighters say what didn't burn last year is ready to go this year.
Scientists are also warning of a dangerous news cycle. A recent study finds soot from wildfires is blowing onto the depleted snowpack, absorbing more heat from the sun. Remnants from old fires helping to create more intense new ones.
The soot leads to earlier snowmelt, which leads to earlier drying and a longer, drier season, which then leads to more vulnerability to forest fire intensity and timing.
With the drought creating fire fuel, crews showed us what worries them most. More homes than ever surrounding pockets of thick brush. Just out of winter, firefighters are preparing for war this summer. The odds are stacked against them. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, San Diego.
So what little rain we have picked up here in California, probably not going to make a big impact in terms of the wildfires, but every little bit certainly welcome. Right now, here's a look at live radar. Still getting a few showers just north of San Francisco. Most of it, though, has pushed off now to your east and has moved over the Sierra, and we are looking at some snow continuing to fall. We'll likely see that for the next maybe day or so in the Sierra Nevadas. So that is some good news. The snowpack starts to build a little bit more, but for today, we also have the risk of some thunderstorms, actually, from Redding to Sacramento, where we could see some severe weather. I don't think this is a huge risk. Nonetheless, something that we should mention, as there is some convection and some instability in the air here as we have that trough in place, which is quite unusual compared to what we've seen all winter.
It is. We were just talking about an email from a colleague of ours. 2,600 feet, they're seeing snow all the way down in the Sierra.
Which is great.
That's it. Yeah, they can take whatever they can get. All right, this just into us, not so great. Investigators are looking into whether or not fog contributed to a deadly plane crash in Illinois. This is video from our affiliate WMAQ-TV. Thick fog there in Bloomington when the small plane went down. Several people were killed. The NTSB is now on the scene trying to find out what happened.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
Oh man, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim. State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
It's so shiny. I know, Mommy, but it's time to let the new kitchen get some sleep.
If you want to choose wisely, choose Angie's List. With in-depth reviews, an exclusive scoring system, and real people standing by to help, you can get a finished project that you'll love.
Pretty.
Call, click, or download the app for free today.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. Call 1-800-950-MESO and see how we can help. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls. Not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Sean! Come on, get together.
Neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy early with increasing clouds overnight, low 72. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Well, hail mixed in with heavy rain, the first sign of severe weather ramping up this week.
Ahead, who could face not just hail, but a 50% chance of tornadoes this week, and that's not all.
The earth started rumbling, trees were cracking, rocks were rolling. I mean, it was just, I've never heard anything like it. It's very, very hard to describe.
The power of too much rain too quickly. Parts of Kentucky are working hard to clean up after 7 inches of rain in the past week.
And they are working against the clock because more rain is on the way. Who could see up to 5 inches by Friday? It is 1:30 here on Weather Center Live, everyone. I'm Julie Martin.
And I'm Keith Carson. 40 million of us under the threat, at least, of severe weather by the end of the week.
That's right. Our severe weather expert has already issued a Torcon of 5 for the risk of tornadoes in some places tomorrow. And we're going to show you exactly where and why just ahead.
But first, new video into us this afternoon of the hail that slammed into West County area of St. Louis. This is Baldwin, Missouri. And along with hail, you face very heavy rainfall, the kind that turned streets into streams. And Julie, I'm going to sneeze because the allergies in Atlanta are ridiculous. So take it away.
I know. We were just talking about the sniffling and sneezing we've been doing here in the studio. Well, let's talk about that severe weather threat now. Here in the St. Louis area, we still have that severe thunderstorm watch. It goes until 2 o'clock Central Time. Cape Girardeau up 55, St. Louis 64 out toward Mount Vernon, all included. And take a look at what we're seeing here in terms of just this tremendous amount of lightning showing up here. Almost 4,000 lightning strikes in this small area south of St. Louis, heading down toward Carbondale. So looking at some very heavy rain, pockets of very heavy lightning as well. In fact, we have a severe thunderstorm warning popping up here near Carbondale, as well as in Wayne, Illinois, where we're looking again at just some really heavy downpours right now, some strong winds as well. Leech, Massillon, Mount Erie, heads up for you. This goes until 1:45. We're talking about hail that could be as big as golf ball sized or larger, and damaging winds. Taking a look at the hail size we're getting here, this is out of Bone Gap, which is just to the east of Fairfield off 45. Certainly golf ball or bigger sized hail for you. That severe thunderstorm warning I was mentioning near Carbondale for Jackson and Perry counties, Ava, Campbell Hill, and Kincaid. This goes until 2 o'clock. So again, Keith, we're talking about damaging winds, hail. Not as big of a tornado threat today. We can't totally rule that out.
Right.
But tomorrow in through Thursday, really looking like the 2 big days.
Threat. Bone Gap, by the way, an awesome name for a town. It's like Truth and Consequences. It's a great one. All right, hey, we could see some dangerous conditions in the Midwest as severe storms develop thanks to that warm, humid, and unstable air. And as you prepare for that threat in Norman, Oklahoma, researchers are using new technology to give us a better forecast data that we can then pass along to you.
That's right. And our own Mike Bettis has a sample of those new developments.
Well, here in Norman, Oklahoma at the National Weather Center, they're at the cutting edge of severe weather research. And how is it that a 2-pound model airplane like this one can be a heavy hitter when it comes to forecasting and analyzing severe weather? Well, this is what's known as basically a UAS, an unmanned air sounder. What it really does is the same thing as a weather balloon does, only in real time and on a much smaller scale, as it can fly around the atmosphere up to 3,000 feet and sample the atmosphere continuously and stream that data back to a computer. One of the people responsible for operating this program gives us a real idea of how the UAS works.
The conditions are completely ready for storms to brew. Everybody knows that this could be the day, but you don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know where it's going to happen. So if you can go out with a few of these, maybe one's not going to be enough, but if you could have several teams out monitoring the atmosphere, flying profiles, sampling the lower atmosphere, getting a sense for how ready that is for that spring to unleash its energy, then that information could be conveyed back to the forecasters, and they can say, yes, this is an area we got to watch for. Then maybe they can start monitoring, start maybe even issuing warnings.
Currently, the weather drones need a team of 6 to operate, and that's mostly because of FAA regulations, and they can't fly over 3,000 feet. So basically, it's low-level measurements that they're getting with these model planes. What we're looking at as far as the forecast goes the next several days, some opportunities for severe weather and some opportunities that the planes indeed may be up there sampling the atmosphere and getting valuable data on tornado and severe weather research. That's the very latest here in Norman, Oklahoma. I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis.
All right, thanks, Mike. If nothing else, they nailed the paint job on those drones. They had the red racing stripes and everything, so that's worth something. Let's talk about the other side of this whole thing. Not only severe weather, but the heavy rainfall. That is going to be a threat. It's been on already across parts of St. Louis, just to the south of it. And a spot we've really been watching, Louisville, has been hit with rain hard over the past 7 days. Past 6 hours, 2.5 inches of rain just to the west-northwest of the city itself. Here's the 7-day aggregate, or 7-day history, if you will, of rainfall. From Louisville into Lexington, we've got 5 to 8 inches of rainfall. So the soil now primed. There's a ton of moisture there, and it doesn't take much now to give us some additional flooding. So as disturbances move along this stalled out front, we're going to see another bullseye probably towards the Louisville area, maybe down to Lexington, of 3 to 5 inches of additional rainfall. So flash flooding going to be a concern for them. In addition to the severe weather threat, the other things that we're watching about. Louisville, best chance of rain here. Got to come on in, and then we see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then finally, as we head into Saturday, things do settle down for them because it has been a really wet period of time. They're going to need a couple of days of dry weather to clear out the Ohio Valley in through Kentucky all the way into the Northeast, actually looking at a pretty good weekend, and that'll help things improve in Louisville. Julie?
That's right, and we're going to be talking a lot about tornadoes over the next couple of days, I have a feeling. So let's explain to you what exactly our TORCON is, our Tornado Conditions Index, developed by our own severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. This actually gives you a good idea on a scale of 1 to 10, the severity, your risk of having a tornado within 50 miles of your area. So basically, if we give you a 5, that is equivalent to a 50% risk, and we do have that in some areas in the plains over the next couple of days. So you're going to want to multiply your number by 10 to get that percentage. And keep in mind, it is all within a 50-mile radius of where we issue that TORCON. I know that flooding also a big threat, a big component with these storms, Keith, through the end of the week.
Yeah, we got the